All right, this is the moment of the crash. All right, so this is the most vivid imagery that we have, and this shows the moment of the crash. This is absolutely horrific. This footage that you see on your screens shows the Air India Dreamliner shortly after takeoff, losing altitude, as you can see over there, losing altitude and plunging to the ground, a pitch-up attitude which the pilot is making, and then it goes down. It is a horrific crash, and this is the most telling video of all. This aircraft did not gain altitude. At the moment where the video starts coming in, it is losing altitude. The pilots are pitching up at this stage, pitching up heavily, and then the aircraft crashes. This is the moment of the crash and the seconds prior to this crash taking place. First images on NDTV of a horrific Air India crash of a flight between Ahmedabad and London Gatwick Airport, AI 171, the crash taking place shortly after 1:38 p.m. The aircraft had a ground speed of approximately 174 knots, was not gaining airspeed at all, and certainly was not gaining altitude. At this stage, it appears that the maximum altitude that the aircraft would have achieved would have been a few hundred feet. This shows the moment of that crash. Air India has confirmed this incident, referring to it as an incident. This is not an incident. This is a crash. There are multiple fatalities in this particular incident. We are trying to find out more details at this stage. We're going to stay with this image, this footage, and go back to Shiv. Shiv, run us through what you're seeing, any thoughts that you have at this stage, and I'll describe what I'm seeing as well.
Terrifying piece of video footage, Vishnu. You've totally accurately described it. The horrifying final moments of Air India flight 171, clearly struggling.
Shiv, hold on a second. We've got the Civil Aviation Minister, Ram Mohan Naidu, who's tweeted just now, shocked and devastated to learn about the flight crash in Ahmedabad. We are on the highest alert. I'm personally monitoring the situation and have directed all aviation and emergency response agencies to take swift and coordinated action. Rescue teams have been mobilized. All efforts are being made to ensure medical aid and relief and support are being rushed to the site. My thoughts and prayers with all of those on board and their families. I can also tell you at this stage that there is some images of people who are injured being brought into hospital. Again, this has now gone down, we are told, in a residential area. Are there survivors in terms of the residential area where this jetliner went down? Are there any survivors on that aircraft? We do not know. But at this stage, that aircraft losing altitude, losing lift, nose up attitude, it went down. This is the Civil Aviation Minister of the country confirming what we now know. Air India 171. Air India is calling this an incident. It is a scheduled flight from Ahmedabad to London Gatwick Airport. This jetliner going down, losing altitude precipitously. It did not gain, it appears, enough airspeed. We do not know the circumstances of the crash. That could take weeks or months to actually find out. But this is a major Air India tragedy, one of the worst instances we have seen in Indian civil aviation in a long time. There would have been more than 200 people on that aircraft. The Civil Aviation Minister is now reacting to this. We've got a few more details also coming in of this crash. What I can share with you is that this aircraft, VT-ANB, it's an Air India Boeing 787 aircraft. It was operating Air India 171 from Ahmedabad to Gatwick. It has crashed immediately after takeoff. This is information which is coming in from the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, I believe. It has crashed immediately after takeoff from Ahmedabad. There were 242 people on board the pilot, consisting of 2 pilots and 10 cabin crew. The aircraft was under the command, and I'm not naming the captain or the first officer at this stage. The captain is a line-trained pilot with 8,200 hours of experience. The co-pilot had an experience of 1,100 hours of flying experience, that is of middling experience levels. As per the air traffic control, the aircraft departed from Ahmedabad at 13:39 IST, that's 1:39 p.m. from runway 23. It did give a mayday call to air traffic control, but thereafter there was no response which was given by the aircraft to calls made by the air traffic control. Aircraft immediately after departure from runway 23 fell on the ground outside the airport perimeter. There is heavy black smoke which was seen coming from the accident site. This is preliminary information coming in. This is, I believe, information coming in from the Civil Aviation Ministry or the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, which gives the detail of this. There was a mayday call which was made by the pilot, but unfortunately obviously there was nothing further after that. The aircraft went down. Let's go back to Shiv Arur at this stage to reflect more on this. Shiv.
Vishnu, the words that you've just used to describe these final moments of that aircraft going down do suggest that something catastrophic happened in the minutes after it took off. The aircraft's landing gear are still down. The aircraft appears to be in takeoff mode. There seems to be a catastrophic lack of lift, complete loss of lift. The nose is pitched up. The attitude is pitched up. Clearly, the pilots were struggling to, gain some kind of altitude and avoid the ground, but this plane was going down. Now, we don't know if there was engine trouble, whether there was some kind of a catastrophic bird strike, or something else that has, in a very, very destructive and damaging way, at not very high altitude, about 825 feet high, which is, just minutes after takeoff, something has obviously gone terribly wrong with the aircraft. You can see the landing gear down, starts to pitch up, attempting to gain a little bit of altitude, but it's too late and goes down in a ball of flame. 242 people on board.